Other running back room that's might have a little bit of a debate now. The Seattle Seahawks, Tyler, put up a show this past weekend, and obviously new offensive coordinator in there, Klint Kubiak, has a history of making the run game more dynamic. Did that this weekend. We saw Zach Charbonnet kind of cutting it up this weekend, and that brings a lot of hope for one Kenneth Walker. Now, Kenneth Walker right now going outside the top 15 running backs, about 15 to 17-ish range, has the upside. I mean, it's clear as day when you watch the tape, you watch the footage. It's very clear. Like, Kenneth Walker is one of those guys. He's a dog when it comes to being a running back. Problem is he hasn't been able to stay healthy. Problem is he's got another guy that's a second-round pick in Zach Charbonnet right behind him. Where you at with Kenneth Walker, man? Because he goes in this range of, like, you're right at the end of, like, the older running backs. Like, the high upside guys are going right there as well with Marion Hampton, Travion Henderson. He's at this weird range, and I find myself kind of passing on Kenneth Walker just a little bit. My personal take here. Yeah, my personal take on Kenneth Walker. My personal take is I think Kenneth Walker is one of those players who I like on film more than I like on my fantasy team. And I feel like he'll go and he'll catch the rock. I think he'll be utilized. He does have the injury risk, but I also think if this run game is as smooth as it has been, Zach Charbonnet is going to be involved at some point. And I think what I've done now recently over the last couple of weeks is instead of saying, okay, I really like Kenneth Walker to be the guy, I've kind of said, you know what, maybe Zach Charbonnet, I need to bump him up a little bit in my backup running back ranking. So I've kind of taken the approach of I think this running game is going to be good, and I think somebody's going to benefit of it. I just don't like the cost of Kenneth Walker right now and drafting him as my RB2 and counting on that. I think he's a riskier RB2 than I would want. And I think there's other guys like DeAndre Swift kind of profiles as the same thing rounds later. I'm not really in on Kenneth Walker as I thought I was going to be in on Kenneth Walker this year as like a top 10, 12-ish type player with Klint Kubiak. But sometimes, Tyler, the draft tells you how you feel like about a player. If you go and you draft and you consistently skip a player, it tells you how you really feel about somebody.
Yeah, I feel completely different. I love Kenneth Walker. So I had 4 drafts this weekend. One of them was a rookie draft. There was 2 best ball drafts and then a regular redraft. I have Kenneth Walker in all 3 of those drafts. I love Kenneth Walker, and the reason being is exactly what you saw. I'm not worried about Zach Charbonnet whatsoever. Kenneth Walker is a much better real-life running back than Zach Charbonnet is. I think Zach Charbonnet is a fantastic backup running back, which is exactly what he is. But Klint Kubiak has been very vocal this entire offseason about getting Kenneth Walker the ball and being a workhorse running back and saying he's a workhorse running back. So I have no concerns about Zach Charbonnet at all. Now, I will say, obviously there's concerns with injury history, and yeah, he has to stay healthy. And once again, I don't really care about injury history because I think that there could be a year where he stays healthy, and this could be it. He's in a contract year. He's looking to get paid. So for me personally, I love drafting Kenneth Walker, but this is a situation where I'm fine with going Zach Charbonnet as well, because we've seen it when Kenneth Walker has gone down. Zach Charbonnet is an RB1 in fantasy football. So I'm fine with having both these guys and then just having, whatever guy ends up playing the most, which I feel like it'll be Kenneth Walker just because that's who I love drafting. But if Kenneth Walker does miss time and you get Zach Charbonnet, then I think you'll be perfectly fine. So for me personally, I love I love Kenneth Walker for where he's currently going. I have a lot of shares.
It's just too much 1A, 1B for me. Like, I think I just feel
it's
like
never been 1A, 1B.
But it is. It truly is. Like, Kenneth Walker, when he plays, he's had games where he's been like super involved, but like Charbonnet does play. Even last season, it became more of that. And this is a new offense, though. It's a new offense. So I don't know what Klint Kubiak's going to do as far as like utilizing multiple backs, but that's kind of what it seems like. Like, Kenneth Walker's not built for 25 touches a game. He's not. He keeps getting hurt. He's missed time every single year he's been in the league.
Have you seen Kenneth Walker?
Huh?
Have you seen Kenneth Walker?
I mean, dude, he's built for it. He looks the part, but he can't stay healthy. I'm just going on what the numbers say is that he can't stay healthy. He's not built for that kind of workload. And Zach Charbonnet, fortunately, is. Like, they have another running back who's good enough to do that. So it's more so like, I get it. You drafted him. He's on your team. You're going to be invested and see the world in him now, Tyler, because I know how you are, bro. Once they go on your team,
it's very easy to see. I wouldn't be concerned about Zach. Okay, I'll say this: if you're worried about injuries, sure, but I would not be worried about Zach Charbonnet.
Even if you're worried, it's even if you're not worried about injury, you have to be worried about, like, even on a points per game basis. It's not like dude's going to catch 75 passes, 60 passes.
Last year, he was on pace to catch more passes than Bijan Robinson was. He had more. He had more receptions per game than Bijan. He was averaging more.
And Bijan finished what, 60? 60? I know he didn't have 70 last year.
He was around 60. Yeah. Kenneth Walker had 40. Had like 48 in 11 games.
But I also. Okay, maybe I'm wrong about the passing game. Maybe call me wrong about the passing game, right? Say he is more involved in the passing game. I guess maybe that is my biggest concern. Then is, can he stay on the field? And I don't think he's yet to play over like 15, 16 games.
No, he's been banged up.
So I just think with Zach Charbonnet there, it's not necessarily the player in this case. I think it's where I'm drafting him. And I'm drafting him ahead of guys that have similar profiles, but rounds earlier. Like I said, to me, I don't really know the difference between him and DeAndre Swift.
Oh my God, he's so much better than DeAndre Swift.
But
don't say DeAndre Swift.
That's your boy. DeAndre Swift's your boy.
No, he's not my boy. He's so much better than DeAndre Swift. That's a bad comparison. I would say maybe like, I mean, maybe him and Joe Mixon, except Joe Mixon's already banged up.
Yeah,
but like,
Tony
I wouldn't
Pollard,
say DeAndre Swift.
Same thing.
Who? Tony Pollard. Sure. Okay, that'd be a better one. Okay.
Tony Pollard. It's like you kind of drafting a similar type player. Like, I don't think Kenneth Walker sees like 10 plus touchdowns. I don't really. And like I said, maybe I'm wrong about it, but I think the upside you got to take him at versus like where Charbonnet is going is just, for me, I'm kind of just out on Kenneth Walker at the price right now. Unfortunately, and I like Kenneth Walker a lot, man. He's normally Kenneth Walker is the type of running back that I draft. I'm like, okay, you give me the upside, you get the juice there. It's just, you can't stay healthy, bro. It's your best. What do they say? Your best ability is your availability.